across. And they will be able to do so with 2 players. They still got a backstop to deal with, and a player knocked as well. That just came through as a res, so they're up as 4 once more. But can the other 2 rejoin?
This is great damage coming through from Sing right now. They have to drop down the tactical covers to try and keep themselves up, but a double in the back line will take down 2. Sing walks straight past the nade there, takes it on the shoulder, and Doc now has to do the impossible.
With only 1 player standing, Doc needs to come up big for them to survive for a longer into this match. Another nade, but on top, it's going to keep the pressure on, but the res is going through all this while. In the meantime, over on the northwest side, Virtus Pro and Regnum Kaya starting to pop off, and it's Regnum Kaya to hold their nerve. Only 1 knock seen, and nobody's in a position to capitalize, because Ulf are more preoccupied on the southeast edge, looking towards Thunder Talk, as APG fall as well. That is going to be them done and dusted. Regnum Kaya on the north edge, looking to try and get the reset, but there are still shots flying their way.
I mean, for Regnum Kaya, though, it has been a hell of a day for them already. Loxy does go down as he attempted to move further up. This is great management and good control from Ulf right now between 2 separate squads. They had the higher ground. They're trying to work with it. Smokes are flowing through right now, but you can see 0 nades on the cards for the boys on Regnum Kaya on the top of your screen. But I think that may be a lie. I'm not sure.
Well, done well. We'll have to wait and see if they're able to loose any. Certainly would be a great boon to them.
Ulf's got nothing.
Ulf are completely barren on the old supply cupboard there. Regnum Kaya actually able to clock a shot over towards King, keeping Ulf safe. Scarface might have gone down there with just a little moment longer on that spray from King, but he is denied. Regnum Kaya able to save him. Scarface back up with that first aid kit.
I mean, for Ulf, they are definitely struggling in terms of utility, in terms of gear. Scarface playing this close as well is dangerous, but it's necessary. Has to be done to keep Regnum Kaya at bay in the coming future. I mean, Thunder Talk off an insane day yesterday, a pretty difficult crossing for them. I think the most surprising thing about this game is Thunder Talk being on 4 players at this stage of the game. I think they must have been knocked multiple times. And I don't think once used the recall beacon during this match, which is even more impressive. So I think this has been fantastic from Thunder Talk. Now it's a question of whether they can actually close out the game, or will Regnum Kaya sweep through with their 3 players, because crossing this open ground is very difficult. But Thunder Talks have 13 nades to do it, but no smokes, which is the critical factor, which Regnum Kaya, they've got all of them.
They've been ordering them. It's all or nothing. Ulf have found a nade from somewhere. They've been able to pick one up from a box, but catch. He's going to be dropped down by King, and the 4 players from Thunder Talk trying to take down the off angles from Ulf as Silas actually gets spotted. Scarface. He would have gone down if they hadn't have taken King out on that spray. Oh, they're regretting that decision now. Thunder Talk, though, mounting the pressure. Regnum Kaya, I think they were up on 12 elims. We'll see if they can get a couple more, because Eren not going to be able to defend in the face of the onslaught from Thunder Talk. Zedwolf breaking out wide, and the 2-piece here for Regnum Kaya needs to be impeccable.
I mean, I don't think it's possible. With all these nades available for Thunder Talk, it is going to be so difficult. You know generally where they're coming from. Thunder Talk looking to take yet another game in their favor. Zedwolf and Wild will have to pull out something extraordinary here if they want to win this one out, but I find it highly doubtful. Wild sending all the way on the side, but them using this little cliff towards their western edge, their advantage, and now it is Wild in this 1v4.
Oh, they isolate it. They all move up. They get 1. Wild looking for the spray. You're right. He's managed to get 2 here. Maybe able to give them the slip. This is the final zone. It closes central. Wild, if you can hold a central position for just long enough, maybe the blue zone will put too much of a hurry up on these reses. Zedwolf does get flushed away, but a 1v4, I just don't think so. Wild looks for more on the angle. King steps up for the challenge, and he's good for it. I thought he might have stepped a little bit too far there, but Regnum Kaya fall. It is Thunder Talk to get another.
The eastern crossing, as opposed to trying to play on the beachhead and the 3 free building compounds around that area. I think that's what Regnum Kaya are trying to go for. It's a very European approach, I'll say it that way, but I think in this instance it's not correct.
Yeah, maybe different decisions to be made in the future, but military circles always fun.
Oh my god!
GK getting the Getting the shift. Oh,
There they
I
are.
think I've spotted what you've noticed. They're on the map, Blank. It's Thundertalk on the North Bridge, and Orangutan are going to be holding them out. The circle goes still towards Geeke's favor on that Observatory Mountain. But let's take a look at this bridge camp, because the health bars on Thundertalk are going to be low here. They step out, and immediately the first goes. The next as well, looking for the spray down. The backup from across the way as well is good. 2 players now stand for Thundertalk, and the blue zone is hurting.
I think the craziest thing about this is that OG expects the team to be rotating at stage 4 into the circle on the eastern side. I mean, it's a great pickup. It really, really is. But fantastically done. I mean, Aru's on the ball here, waiting for Thundertalk to approach, and that is the top squad going down to 1 player from OG. Very, very well played. And now they can figure out how they want to move down, because you'd assume at this point for OG that there isn't going to be another team tailing Thundertalk. If they were, it's likely Thundertalk would have had to have fought a little bit earlier out on the coastal side, in which case OG would have heard it. So this is great in terms for OG for clearing that northern edge and understanding that now they can push south without worrying about their 180. So very smart.
They managed to take 2 players down.
And for Rectum Kari, you've been able to get quite far into this match. I mean, only have 1 player left remaining, and that's Wild, but Wild is typically the lone survivor for the squad. OG really taking good use of this hovercraft. No one's really looked at them, so they're having this hovercraft far into the late game is really quite a big deal. Nade's starting to pour out over the top now. A little bit of damage surely should be done, but the nades just bounce a little bit too far. Nade swings back down to the top side, dribbles down just a little bit. Another one goes through. More damage on towards OG now. 1 player fairly low in Aru. And R8 can maybe leverage this, but a good off angle right now from OG is keeping them at bay.
Oh, another nade, another knock. There's no punishment really being seen. A return. Finally, Marth goes down. There was a third party as well, I think, from Geeke on the high ground to take a shot over towards one of the players from OG who has now been flushed away. Trying to flex out. This is where the off angle from Prestige really needs to come in clutch, stopping this fight. The smoke's over the ridgeline. They want to keep this momentum going, but R8 back off the angle. The nade's not quite connecting where they need to. Marth potentially? No, it goes too long. The cook not quite right there, but that one's good. A tanky sends it back his way. And Aru again, so low, but not going down just yet.
That is a cracking grenade from Amori over the top towards WizGod, who's trying to get that off angle towards them. They've laid the smokes down, trying to keep R8 back at this point in time, give them the heavy hand. But right now, it's just not working out. WizGod likely to go down. Finally, Prestige enters the fray.
Moves in from that off angle. That might actually give OG an opportunity here, but another flush comes through, and R8 now into a 2 versus 4 in their favor. A tanky needs something big, but he only gets 1. There is no answer from the backline, unfortunately. Aru out in the open, caught with his trousers down there, and R8 are going to send them away. 5 elims though on the game, Blank. That's a pretty good result.
Too bad, but GS does go down to the circle itself. Aaron gets shut down by Marth, who has just been on a tear all day today.
A huge elim count being racked up still.
Oh my,
they want
still
more
going.
for Kara, and it's going to be Marth actually starting to take those shots out the way. See if he can take them down, but R8 lost a player crucially. Amori got flushed out on that situation, could not make it any further. I'm surprised there's still nades in the pockets for R8, but they've got at least 1 more here. They want to try and find the opening to Kara. DRX, they've got everything on side right now. It is a question of who's getting second place in my mind. It's going to be very, very difficult to take DRX out of this one.
Yeah, I mean, for DRX, this is a freebie game, right? They haven't really done much whatsoever. This is one of those games that just gets gifted to you now and again. I think that, again, praise should be going through to teams like R8, teams like Kara, who have manipulated the circle very, very well for themselves. Maybe even I'd go ahead and say OG on that north side. I think that there's like those 3 positions of Kara down on the east, R8 coming through the west, and OG on the north. But for DRX, yeah, there's not much to be said about that squad.
I'm surprised that they haven't moved anyone up to the wall yet, or moved out a little bit. They're kind of allowing ground here a little bit. Maybe timid, cowards. No, definitely not. That's a bit too much. But I mean, it should be theirs under control. They know that these 2 teams outside can't really move up unscathed, but Kara are going to give it a go. They're going to have a crack at it. Poser up first, and they slink out wide as well with.
I mean, what is
Lewis
that?
moving on in. There's a knock over to Hyunbin. I mean, yeah, that definitely shouldn't be happening here. DRX are going to have to go for that res, and that might allow Kara even more leeway. See what CEO's getting up to the wall now. Things are starting to get a little bit dicey as R8 have the pressure of the blue zone pushing up towards them. This is the final zone blank, and it will close dead center on this one. It does go inside the wall, which means that Kara will have to cross that boundary if they want to win this one out.
Yeah, I think that they hope during that knock, I mean, 2 angles is all that DRX has there because one's taken up on the res, that they could finish out this fight as quickly as possible. The blues being a big issue, CEO able to hit a nasty nade again. I think this is a massive game for Kara going forward. Another nade goes slightly far, bobbles just a little bit too much. That's a wild nade coming through, goes straight out to the outer edge of the zone, but smokes is all that's in the way between Kara and R8 in this moment. And finally, DRX starts to make a move.
Kaisei flexes out to the wall there. The angle spotted though, and a nade immediately put towards his feet, and he has to dance out the way. DRX starting to get low on nades. They've only got 7 left. R8 are up to the wall as well. They've allowed the entrance to move on in. R8 will go down, but it's Kara to do the dirty, and they will find 2 more eliminations on their tally. A big nade from CEO. Will there be an answer from DRX? They're allowing this to go through, and the smokes there covering so much of their sightline.
I mean, the big difference right now is Kara is incredibly hot coming into this engagement, whereas DRX feeling very cold off this game. They've not done too much. It's the 4v3 and the 19 elims on this game for Kara. The Crows are flying strong here, but they take initial knock. They're trying to get the damage done. Hyunbin alive for the time being. The bullet scraping his backpack.
Not quite able to finish the job though. They swap over to the next vehicle, and at least Poser as a solo. DRX finally able to keep themselves standing. Hyunbin gets the res. 1 knock is all they'll find, and Kara denied the 20-point Elium game. They will go down in 2nd place. DRX able to hold their nerve. Right teammate going down. Lewis steps out, put into a shotgun. A barrel straight into his face, and Lewis goes down as well. They will finally take him down, but they lose a player, and they have to get these reses fast, Blank.
Over the top tries to thread it in towards the shack, but a good shot from AKOP will take down Sighting almost instantaneously as well. They got to figure out how they want to play this one out, because again, for OG, they are passing through open ground. I think for Thunder Talk, they desperately want to get rid of DXavier, but Nate, immediate reposition from his side. This is a good survival play for him. Again, DXavier has been on the receiving end of survival plays for quite some time now. We haven't seen a truly dominant game from DXavier just yet.
It's disappointing as well, given their prowess, given their record this year. They've had a really, really strong showing, but it's just not coming through yet in the gauntlet. We'll see what more they can do. Nades being thrown out by Thunder Talk still.
It's good,
Surprisingly got anything left, and they find an opening. You're kidding me. Thunder Talk just seem untouchable here. Nading Aru off the tree, doing a lot of damage. That's going to be unresable now. The rotate out wide. AKOP needs to stand tall. Will be able to do 1 and a second as well. The double knockdown, but across the way, there's still a 3rd player for Thunder Talk going. It's all up to WizGod. It looked like OG might have had the game under control there, but Kara now with the numbers advantage.
I'm just so confused of what Thunder Talk's doing in this game. Sighting sending it out again over towards OG. It's like a completely different type of Thunder Talk this game. Nate maybe going for the 1v3. CEO's able to put him down, fires him from the company, and at least will be able to remain up and present. WizGod moves up, and in the meantime was able to take down Thunder Talk. Now, it's a 1v1 technically as the blue continues to push in.
I think they've got time to get these reses off Blank. The blue zone's not going to move for a couple more seconds. They may just be able to get through. Marso will heal. Poser will be able to get up and step out for another sight line. Unlikely that Poser's going to be able to heal, though. Actually, they might still have time here. They do. Goodness me. This means a full 3 for WizGod to be able to have to deal with here, and he doesn't have any nades in hand. With a nade, this could go a different way, but I feel like WizGod might be able to find 1 or 2, but the 3, I'm not sure. Marso goes out, drops the smoke train towards him. They know exactly which rock he's on. As soon as they get in range, they don't have the nades either. He steps out, and that's a little sliver of HP taken away, and he doesn't have any meds to play with. This is nasty.
Big stun grenade. WizGod just has to hide it out for the time being. But It's looking close. Can Wizgo close this down? It's looking slightly unlikely. Regardless, he has been through the war zone this game and will go out valiantly. But it will be Kara to come off from a second place and 19 points into a chicken dinner. The team attempts to crawl back over towards him for some emergency triage. Doran finally falls in 5th place as Ulf remains up and in this game.
The arena trying to move through. Tourniquet goes down, and it's now just Joker remaining. DRX playing as a solo as well. If they don't get this res, a nade is being cooked now, and QXZ wants the shot, wants the shutdown, looks for Joker, goes a little bit long with it, but Mormon might not be long for it either. The nade in response, QXZ breaking out wide. In the meantime, the Mad Bulls are making moves too. Ulf in the fight too, and trying to stay alive in and amongst it. Mad Bulls now still have the numbers advantage. The nades, the Molotovs, putting pressure on Arena. But what's going on the south side, Blank? Who's going to be able to take control of that roadside?
QXZ looking for the full squad wipe over towards E-Arena. Joker on the low ground, starting to move up. Nade sent long, slightly off target though. Immediately sends another, lets it bubble through. He's just littering the ground with those mines, but is it enough right now? QXZ needs to step up, knows roughly the direction he's coming from. Tourniquet attempting to provide the information back from inside the bush. QXZ extremely low now, needs to step up soon, but Joker might just make it happen with this final nade.
In the meantime, Mad Bulls going toe-to-toe with the remnants of Ulf. They are 2 players standing. Tulika unlikely to get back up here, and they've got the angle. They step up around the side of the tree. The Mad Bulls were able to claim it from the ditch. Ulf could not hold them out.
And Kara's just sending it, dude.
All right, 2 players straight across the field. Lewis leaves his teammate out in the open, will go down himself. Kara, they're not going to do too well on that rotate. Player from Virtus Pro did go down in the process. Voston has been knocked, but yeah, I don't think Kara are going to get too much value from this one. They've already extracted a lot of points from this lobby. However, they are stepping pretty close to being in contest with Thundertalk, which is really saying something.
Yeah, it's some real lobby annihilation coming through from Kara at the moment, leaving Poser and CEO alive. And again, I really did respect the rollout there. It's a very hard one to pull off, but if they're able to take down the 2 players, I think they pretty sure are inside of that shack. Then they take a formidable location that can maybe challenge up against Regnum Kaya. So it's a risk that realistically they have to take here if they want to go for the chicken dinner, which is, I like that. The fact that they're thinking towards the chicken dinner is amazing. That nade is disgustingly on target from Zed Wolf, and now there were 3.
Kara 7 nades in pocket, 2 players up the top. Virtus Pro have 7. Regnum Kai have a lot of smokes, but maybe a little bit thinner on the nades. They've only got a couple of players to handle, 4 players total. CEO spotted, challenges on the spray down, needs to be bold with it, and CEO sticks the landing on that. Unfortunately, there's the trade, and there's the nade from the off angles. Only 1 for the price of 2, and Zedwolf may be resable even still by Loxy and maintain this rooftop position against Virtus Pro, who've been holding on the outside here. Regnum Kaya up to 8 elims. It has been a good game for them, and they desperately needed it.
Yeah, they got a ton of smokes as well, but not too many nades to make this work. But realistically, playing in the shack, Regnum Kaya they can wait until zone 9. They just want to wait until this one really pulls Virtus Pro out of this shack, and then they can just play off the back of there with the smokes included. So this should be a Regnum Kaya win. They got a couple of eliminations off the back of it, and it does put them back in contest for top 7 after this one. They will need to have another strong game before probably match 4 or 5 tomorrow, but it sets themselves up nicely, right? I don't think any team has really played very, I mean, other than Alpha Gaming, let's say, in Geek, but I think most teams still have a good chance of getting into top 7 tomorrow with some pretty astonishing plays.
Yeah, it is still an open door for quite a few teams. Regnum Kaya maybe just about squeaking in by the skin of their teeth here, but Virtus Pro, they're close to the bubble too. They have been chasing for a while. We were talking about how they didn't really find their way through into these later stages. Those mid games were a real struggle for them, but they managed to get all 4 players in. This hold has been difficult. Malloy going down is going to make this close down nigh on impossible for Virtus Pro. It is a 1v4 now for Aragon, unless he spends the time to get Malloy back up. But those nades now starting to run dry. Zedwolf breaking out wide. They got all the angles they could possibly wish for, and it is going to be a swift little peek out there from Wild in the ghillie suit. The desert camo working wonders, and Regnum Kaya closed down a 10 over now, and you've got to wonder what can he do. The answer is nothing. They will fall. That is going to be DX Xavier able to shut that one down. They're up to 7 elims here, Blank. R8 as well, getting a hefty tally, but they will draw short on the approach to DX Xavier.
I mean, DX Xavier almost felt like R8 was channeling Jafar in that moment. Right. He may have been Jafar, but the spirit was near with R8 for Prestige. DX Xavier able to hold on though. Evan starting to branch out just slightly, and lo and behold, Kara once again in a top 4 scenario. They are determined to catch up to Thunder Talk today.
I mean, they're 17 points behind, got 5 elims, so it would need, I mean, 5 and 7 is, that would be a 22-point game. So 12 elims and the chicken dinner total. I mean, for Kara, that's doable, right? That's easy. That's easy work. That's light loads.
It is. It is light work for them. Just a warm up. Well, I don't know. The warm around has gone. They've added too much weight to the tables. The Xavier is able to find at least one over their way, but should be short order before that's picked up again. But it does give a small chance for DX Xavier to. They're taking a 2v4. Of course they are. I don't know why I thought they would be trying to do anything different.
Okay, he's pulled out the side. No style points on the roll up there. We saw it a couple of times yesterday, and Kara learned their lesson from the other times. And they've seen it before. They'll put it to sleep. And that's a res.
It's like DX Xavier has no limits. They just have no limits. Like, we're going to go for a 2v4, sure, and I'm going to drive in and do a flyby. Don't worry about it. Yeah, makes no sense. Anyway, Kara, Alpha 7 going head to head, but Revel already being down. They need it badly.
Able to tag on Tommaso. You'd hope he was laid very still on the deck. And then knock as well. Alpha 7 finally stopping Kara where nobody else could. There's a nade, there's a follow-up. The spray downs are good, but now 2 players. It's a 2v3. Kara wanted to try and answer. He's out actually fairly isolated here. The next circle does close center. Worried. CEO spots Obscure on the off angle. There's not a really forced presence from Alpha 7 towards CEO, and they're right on the edge of the blue zone. That's what they needed. Obscure on the Mini 14 at distance. Give him Lewis next, see what he could do.
Yeah, it's a good swing out from him to finish off our day today. Lewis behind the loot crate, but the only loot here is going to be the chicken dinner for Alpha 7 when Obscure will finish this off. And beauty that Obscure is the final blow from that team. But a nice